Hi everyone, welcome back to WeDrone Daily. Today's mod is going to be one involving the remote. Today we're going to be swapping out the device holder, the standard one that comes on the DJI Phantom 3 standard. It is adequate, but one of the things that I've found is that as you're flying or as you're moving around, you're trying to look at your phone or your tablet or what have you, the device kind of moves around a little bit, which I wasn't a big fan of. So today we're going to do one of the more common mods that a lot of people with the standard will do, is to swap it out for a device holder similar to those from the Advanced or the Pro. As you can see, it's a little more sturdy. It bolts to the device itself, so you are going to need to make some modifications to the front cover of your device. And some people actually use a bolt on the other side, on the underside, to hold it together. I don't think we're going to do that today. We're just pretty much going to drill a hole and we're going to screw this in. It does seem to hold a little bit very tightly. We may use a little bit of glue on the underside to keep it in place. But I bought this off of eBay. It's a Chinese knockoff. It cost me about $13. I went with this style because it does have a metal bracket which holds it. Some of the other ones do have plastic, and I just decided to go with one that had metal. I thought it would last a little bit longer. It also has the lanyard clip as well, so I figured, you know, locking in with the lanyard would be, you know, would last a little bit longer, wouldn't break as easily when compared to one with a plastic base. But pretty much this is what we're going to go with. It does have some adjustment to it. It's got a button on the side which allows it to go up and down, so you can adjust for different size devices. If you're using a phone, it does have little arms that come down here. Let's see if we can open these up. They're a little tight. These do open up and fold down, so you can put your device in there. It's got padding, rubber padding on all surfaces. So again, it gives a nice fit, nice snug fit on the device. And again, it is adjustable depending on how big your device is. I think this holds, I believe, a 9-inch or an 18 or a 10-inch tablet. And again, these fold up if you're using those, so you have all that space in there to put your device in. Okay, so enough of that. We're going to get started with the mod. What you probably won't see me do is drilling the hole. I'll give you the specs on the hole that you need to drill, and then we'll do that part afterwards. Okay? Thanks. Hi guys, so we're back. What I wanted to show you all was a grouping of supplies that you're probably going to need to get this mod done. Again, this is what I think is going to be most helpful. You may or may not want to use all this stuff, but just a suggestion. So the first thing that you're going to need is a drill bit. I measured out the spacing or the size of the shaft coming from the remote holder, and it's about 3/16. So you know, you're going to at least need a 3/16 bit. If you do get a different one, you just may want to measure that out before you make a hole that's too big, and then you're gonna have to try to figure out some way to fix that. But so a drill bit. I also grabbed a PH1 screwdriver. That's for the removal of the screws. This mount also has a screw which holds into the lanyard holder on the remote itself. So you're going to need a screwdriver to unscrew that. A pair of pliers when you're trying to screw this part into the remote's top part. You are going to need to grip that. It does have a thumb, you know, like grip for your thumb, but you're probably going to need a pair of pliers to kind of tighten that down. I also added some masking tape. Might be a good idea to just wrap this part with something so you don't mar the surface when you're trying to drive it in. You're also going to disconnect a couple of wires underneath. One for the battery and a couple of other wires that run to the circuit board itself. So I'm going to use these markers to just sort of mark the wires so I know which one goes in which place when we get ready to put it all back. Okay, let's get started. Okay, everyone, so I've laid down a towel. I always find that it's best to put something down under the place that you're going to be working. One is the thumb sticks have a bit of a sharp edge to them, so if you have something that you're working on that you don't want to scratch up, it's always good to put something down because you're going to need to flip this over. Also, you're going to be dealing with some little screws, and little screws have a tendency of rolling all over the place. So I just grabbed an old towel that we had laying around, laid that down underneath the remote, and this way if any screws do fall out, they won't go rolling around on the floor and you don't need to chase them around. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the factory remote holder. It's got 2 screws. Just make sure you can see that. Basically you're just going to unscrew those. They are not captured screws, so just make sure when you take them out you don't lose them. Now this is a second remote that I have that I bought just for the purpose of these mods. So I bought this one off of eBay. It was about $50, and I wanted to keep my original remote intact. So all the mods that I'm going to be making are to the secondary remote, which I will be using moving forward. So we just need to unscrew that. Let's just see if we can't get it off. As you can see, the remote itself broke a little bit. Okay, so we had to take the other remote holder off. Like I said, this one I bought used, so looks like somebody over tightened the screw on that and broke that. But if you do end up taking these off, sometimes you can resell these on eBay. You can sell them for about $8 or $9. I might get some of your money back on that. So got that remote holder off, so it's no longer on the handle. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flip the remote over, and there's 4 screws. If you've seen any other videos with regards to upgrading the remotes, you can see that other people have gone through the same process. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew the 4 screws here, and then we're going to pry the remote apart along the seam line here. It is captured up along the top with the antenna, so when we get ready to separate it, you do need to be careful that you don't break the end up here, because you will need that for future mods with the Architects. Okay, so let's start unscrewing. Number 3 and number 4. Just make sure everything's loose. Okay, now you're going to flip it over, and this is where your towel comes into place, because it keeps your screws from rolling around all over the place. This one here's still stuck in there. Now remember, when you do separate this out, there are some wires in here for the controls, so you just need to be careful when you pry very carefully, so that you don't tear anything off and you don't break anything that you don't want to break. Now again, it's captured up here along the top, so when you separate it, you just need to kind of take the bottom part off and pull it down. You just need to be very gentle. You don't want to break this, especially if this is your only remote. Okay, so again, prying off very carefully. You can separate the remote, pull down, and it separates like this. Now here are the wires that you want to be very careful of. So you can see one is for the battery. These two go to this one goes to the charger. This one goes to the circuit board. So here's where your markers are going to come into place. Just again, this is just something that I wanted to use just so you can kind of keep an eye or keep track of where your items are located, where they plug into, using a different color. Not necessary, but just something that I thought would be beneficial for me. So we've got them marked. Now these are pressure fit, so essentially what you're going to want to do is very carefully pull on the wires, not the wires themselves, but pull on the plug. Okay, so we got the first one off. This one should pull straight out this way. Again, being very, very careful. You don't want to tug on the wires. You just want to pull on the plastic connection piece. Being very careful. Okay, and now we've separated the two halves. Okay, so we put the other half aside. Put the bottom part aside. This is the one we're going to work on. So now you can get a better shot of the inside of the remote. So these are your video signal antennas. This is your primary antenna. This is the one that has communication to the drone. That's not blood, by the way, that's just marker. This is the one that allows you to control the drone. This supplies your video feed, and as you can see here, these go to the circuit board itself. Okay, the hole that we will be drilling will be right in the center, approximately. So it's going to end up somewhere around here. So you can see we have some wires in the way. You may want to be very careful when you're drilling into those. You know, you can actually remove them, which we'll probably pick away at some of this glue here and get those out of the way so we don't accidentally damage them. Okay guys, so we've gently pulled up the wires. You can see that there's a little bit of silicone or white glue that's there that was just kind of pinching it in. So we're going to move that out of the way for now, and basically the hole should be coming up between these two tabs that you're seeing right there. Okay, so you don't need to see me drilling a hole. When we come back, we will already have the hole drilled and we'll be ready to install the tablet mount. Okay guys, so one of the things to note is that on this holder, it utilizes a screw to relocate. The screw goes into the current lanyard holder, and then it relocates the lanyard holder up here. This is one of the reasons why I chose the one with the metal frame here, because when you're relocating the lanyard holder, I just thought it would be a bit more secure to be able to connect to something metal. Now I believe that the Inspire uses this same tablet holder mount, so it may be easier for you to search for something on eBay for the Inspire tablet holder. Might make it easier for you to find. But basically what we're going to do is we're gonna take this screw out, okay, and then this screw is going to line up with the lanyard holder, and what we're going to do is basically you want to try to drill the hole where the hole needs to be. So you don't necessarily want to drill the hole right at the where the screw is now. You want to sort of level it out so you know where you're going to drill the hole exactly. If you try to drill it here, it's going to be too high up, as you can see. So you really want to kind of line it up that way. Mark your center point. Start with a small hole. Maybe start with a 1/16 inch drill bit, and work your way up until you have the right size drill bit. Okay. Okay, everyone. So we've drilled the hole right now, and as you can see, it does come up pretty much in the middle of those two panels, little braces right there. Okay, and what we've done is we've mounted it in. There's the screw that connects to the existing lanyard on the remote itself. Now your lanyard will connect here. We've used the thumb screw to tighten it in, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a little bit of glue to the post just to make sure that it stays in there securely. But once it's in there, as you can see, now you have the Advanced or the Pro or even the Inspire remote holder in place. It's very secure. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit of glue. I'm going to use a product that I've had some experience with before, something called Bondique. Basically it's a UV activated glue. Once you apply it, it comes in like a liquid pen form. Once you've applied the glue, it remains liquid until you actually activate it with the light that comes included. You hold that on the wet part or close to the wet part for about 3 to 4 seconds, and it connects. It actually forms a secure bond. So I'm going to put a little bit of this on there. There's the pen tip. Just simply squeeze and apply. Hopefully you guys are getting that. You don't need a whole lot, just a little bit to hold it into place. And then we take the pen, and with one hand, this is kind of difficult. Hold it on there for just a few seconds, and then it creates the bond. Okay, let me turn that off. And then we can see a pretty secure bond right there. Again, most of the tension is going to be on the lanyard hook, so you really don't have to. This is just to sort of keep it stable, and as you can see, it's very, very stable in place right now. So let's put the remote back together and take a quick look and see how it works. Alright everyone, so you got the remote back together. Again, just follow the reverse of the initial steps. Make sure you hook up your cables correctly. Using the color coding does help out quite a bit. Now, just to demonstrate the remote. So I have a Samsung phone. I also use an OtterBox on it, so it is quite a bit bulky. But as you can see, it fits securely. It definitely is much better than the original. You can see that. And then for those of you that possibly have larger tablets or devices, this is a Samsung, I believe it's a 7-inch tablet. Again, you know, if you really want to see how well it connects up, it does a great job. I think it's definitely a big improvement. No longer do you have the remote hanging off the back, and this is going to prepare us for some future mods where we don't have anything in the way. Alright, once again, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Also, don't forget to thumb up this video if you found it helpful, and like and subscribe. Thanks.